Hi folks, welcome back. In the previous video, we discussed about scenario 1 where creating the GKE cluster in the GCP and then creating the GKE cluster on Azure environment and finally creating the GKE cluster on Amazon environment. Basically, we discussed about high level architecture for that. So let's talk about scenario 2 where let's assume you have your AKS cluster which is running on Azure and EKS cluster running on Amazon and any other local environment or any other Kubernetes cluster. Say for example you're running a local Kubernetes cluster called a client kind, and even that cluster if you want to attach to the fleet and manage it through a common control plane, even that can be achieved in the scenario 2. So if you come to the documentation of the GKE attached cluster, and if you come down you will find a high level architecture diagram for this. It's simple. I was mentioning in the introduction video that it's very difficult for Google to come out of the name Anthos. It takes a lot of time. So you will see here, the Anthos service mesh, which I was talking about, ASM, and ACM, which is again the component of ACM, which is policy controller. So all these things, basically the core Anthos features will be available for attached cluster as well. You can see here, the GK cluster and GCP. Of course, it's the basic built-in, I mean the typical implementation of GKE, and then the EKS cluster which is running on Amazon, and AKS cluster running on Azure, or any other clusters you're running on other cloud distributions. Even those are all can be attached to a single fleet and then can make use of all the core Anthos features. That's the very high level diagram. So if you go to Google and search for Anthos examples, the first one which you get, where the entire implementation, which is maintained completely by Google itself. So they have all the the pre-written Terraform codes to implement all these attached clusters and then implement in the clusters in multi-cloud as well as other scenarios. So if you come and click on this Anthos attached cluster, so you will see a generic diagram, more understandable diagram, I can say. So it's like simple, as you can see here. So here the key component which during the setup what it does is it is going to install a connect agent in that respective public cloud. Let's assume you are attaching the AKS cluster or EKS cluster to the control plane. You will be installing, I mean during the installation of sorry, the attach cluster command, when you run that command, it is going to install a component called as connect agent, which is going to interact with your Anthos fleet through connect API. So when you issue any commands like kubectl get node, which goes via this connect API, and then it interacts with the connect agent which is installed on that respective public cloud, and using which it will gives the output. So that's the very very simple architecture diagram. If you want to see the specific one, if you click on AKS and if you go to README, yeah, here itself, AKS and sorry, EKS attached diagram. Yeah, I think this is the one. This is the one which is common for both, I think. Yeah, this diagram is common for both. There is no separate one which they maintain. Yeah, so in the README, you can always go back and see the instructions. Anyway, we are going to discuss this in a separate session. So if you come back to the diagram, this is a very simple implementation. In the upcoming videos for this scenario too, where the creating, I mean the attaching the existing AKS cluster to fleet and attaching the existing EKS cluster to fleet, we are going to discuss separately, and we will manage both of these clusters through common UI, which is your fleet UI, and there we will try to do simple deployment and see how it works. So thank you so much, folks. So in the upcoming sessions, we will start, implementing one by one. First, we will start, implementing the scenario one, and then subsequently scenario two. Thank you, for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel and support me. Thank you.